got up. I thought only winos and junkies slept till noon. And I suppose you want a big country breakfast, too. Well, I'm no Aunt Jemima. You don't need breakfast anyway, you fat, disgusting hog. Look at that gut. The cholesterol is surging through your veins right now, getting ready to explode all over my hand-scrubbed floors. And if they do explode, you're cleaning it up. When was the last time you made me breakfast? Every morning I drag my pain-racked body out of bed, take the senile old dog out, and then I have the supreme privilege of cooking up a porky pig breakfast to be consumed by the human blob. Oh yeah, I remember the last time you made me breakfast. As I recall, it was on my birthday. 1982 stale Fruit Loops that the roaches had nibbled on, and ice-cold coffee that was so weak it must have been strained through a hairnet. And look at this beautiful kitchen, all the technical wonders of 1958. Donna Reed could have a nervous breakdown in this kitchen. When was the last time you saw a refrigerator like that? Well, I was popping pimples and waiting for my braces to come off. And when was the last time you saw a garbage disposal like this? Well, I should detach it and stick your mouth on the other end. And oh, the stove. Talk about Smithsonian Institute material. Well, why don't we just grab a few logs, fire up the old babe, put a couple of pterodactyl eggs on it. Wilma! Is that your breath? How many times have I told you to brush your teeth? My eyes are watering from the stench. Oh, and there's that coughing again. And that awful hacking sound. Why don't you go to the doctor, you cheap pig? You probably got TB and you're spreading it all over like Typhoid Mary. Well, no wonder you're sick. It's what you eat. Batman cereal, candy corn, Cape Cod potato chips dipped in ketchup. Ugh. Ever hear of vitamins? Whoa, 1991, hello! You know, when I go to the grocery store, people say, hey, you must have some happy little children, judging from all the yoo-hoos and the ho-hos and the cheese doodles that you buy. And I say, no. They're for a 35-year-old who thinks he's 5. When are you going to grow up? Certainly not when your stupid jock friends come over and watch baseball on our television because they're too cheap mooching off us to get their own. And even if they had the sensibility to buy their own, they couldn't even turn it on. So instead, I get to play French maid, serving schlitz and ding-dongs to a bunch of overweight loser jocks reminiscing about their high school glory days. Well, let me tell you, pal, those days are over. The only thing you can tackle now is a deep pan pizza. Yay, rah! You know, if you spent as much time looking for a job as you did on sports statistics, well, you'd be a millionaire now, wouldn't you? Just once I'd like to see you get a job that requires an IQ level higher than a yodel. Well, one of us has to go to work, so of course you've made me late again. So if you have the sensibility to go to the bathroom, lift up the lid. And when the cartoons are over, turn the television off. I'll be late again tonight because I have to kiss the boss's butt to get a raise. So if you're still coherent after your 12-pack, well, don't wait up for me. Bye-bye. Who made this slop? Tastes like ground pencil shavings. You're not responsible for this, are you? Let's get rid of this garbage. You don't plan on lighting that cigarette, do you? Because if you do, I'll just have to cough my brains out. I got a bronchial condition, and one whiff of that smoke and you'll send me right into an oxygen tank. You gotta give up that filthy habit anyway. You're turning your lungs to charcoal and your teeth are as yellow as gore. Hey, I'm just trying to save your life. No sense in giving me dirty looks. Excuse me for living. You know, one of the workers at the typing pool said she overheard you talking to a friend of yours on the phone about that bowling tournament last Saturday night. Yeah, said you had a grand old time talking for about an hour on the company's expense. Hey, I don't care. No, just wouldn't want you to get in trouble by the boss. Yeah. They also said you were pilfering paper clips and ballpoint pens. Hey, I take a few myself for my own purposes, you know, but never 2 dozen of each. Hey, don't bite my head off. That's what they told me, just repeating what I heard. Guess you want your butt chewed by the boss. Who put in that Italian dinner in the microwave, knowing that I'm on a liquid starvation diet? You did it, didn't you? Thanks a lot. Now I gotta be tortured by the smell of ravioli smothered with mozzarella cheese. Oh, my stomach, I'm so hungry. And I got wallpaper powder mixed with brown skim milk. Thanks a lot. Oh, now I got a headache. I've been getting these migraine headaches, you know. Feels like I got red-hot pokers sticking through my temples. I can't take aspirin because it upsets my frail stomach. Doctor says it's because I don't eat enough. This is the same genius who put me on the diet in the first place. I think it's a brain tumor. I got a lump right here in the back of my head. I really feel it. I got a lump right here on the back. What, do you think I'm crazy or something? All right, don't feel the back of my head. You're so smart. Yeah, I heard the boss gave you a word-perfect computer, and I'm pounding my fingers to the bone on this Remington typewriter. Well, your job is so much more important than mine is. I'm just a glamorized coffee girl typing a couple pages a week, pumping up the boss's ego, telling him he looks like a movie star. Do I get a raise or a word-perfect computer to make my life easier? No! Hey, do you still have that whiteout you borrowed from me the other day? Or is that something that completely left your mind? I don't want to bother you about it or anything, but at $3 a bottle, this stuff ain't cheap. I want it on my desk this afternoon. It's the principle. I start lending out one thing, and then I have to start lending out everything, and then I can't get my menial task done, now can I? Of course, you don't need whiteout anyway with your word-perfect computer. Hey, where you going? I'm not done talking to you yet. How rude! Can't believe it. Every time I'm always the first person in the car, and every time I gotta wait for the next person to get in. Come on, let's move it. Burning up in this mobile oven. Come on, get the lead out. Smells like someone's been living back here for a week. Come on, let's go. Well, it's about time you got here. You know how long I've been waiting in this pit you call a car? Didn't you hear me honking the horn at least 1,000,000 times? What do I gotta do, get a Hollitzer cannon to get your attention? Hey, look out! You almost clipped that Lincoln. Do you know how much it costs to replace a bumper on a Lincoln? Certainly a whole lot more than this Bondo bomber, that's for sure. Hey, can you spare some more of that air conditioning? I feel like I'm breathing through a stinky tube sock that's been dipped in 3-day-old bath water. That's right, stay on this guy's bumper. 75 miles an hour and we're kissing this guy's taillights. All he's got to do is apply 1 pound of pressure on the brakes and wham, I'm neatly compacted in the back trunk. Just like a garbage disposal, just open it up and let me out on the curb. Ah! Spring's trying to have its way with me here. Hey, there's a service area 3/4 of a mile away up. Why don't you pull over? I want to stretch my legs. Come on, pull over. You gotta get in the left lane. Don't worry about the gas truck. Just punch it. Oh, come on. You got the confidence of a 2-year-old. Fine. 30 miles for another service area. What am I supposed to do? Stick my legs out of the window of this coffin you call a car? There's not even a service lane in sight because you wanted to see the scenic route. What's there to see around here anyway? Bunch of dead trees and burnt up grass. The only thing you're gonna see is me sweating it out back here for 30 miles with my legs twisted up like a pretzel. Oh, fine. Now that we're off this guy's bumper, we're gonna drive 10 miles an hour. You enjoy my suffering, don't you? Hey, look at that Lamborghini over there. More importantly, look at that handsome, successful man driving it. Why can't you drive something other than a car that looks like it should have bamboo fishing poles out the back? I feel like I'm on Gilligan's Island. What I wouldn't give to be in a car like that and smell that fine Italian leather. The only thing I smell in this tuna can is old fried chicken and crusty barbecue sauce stuck to the seats. And look at these cigarette butts. When was the last time this thing was empty? Who's living back here, the Marlboro man? Hey, look out for that old lady. Where'd you get your license anyway? From a Batman cereal box? All right, pull over. I could drive better with my legs steering and my hands on the brake. What are you doing here a half an hour early? I told you an hour and a half, not a half an hour, you idiot. Now you're gonna wait around here with ants in your pants until I'm ready. Well, you can just take a powder and chill out. What happened? Did visiting hours end early today, or did they just let you out early for recess? I can't believe the friends you hang out with. They're the dregs of society, for crying out loud. Every night I come home to one of your Neanderthal friends in the refrigerator eating everything in sight. And do any of them offer to pay for any of this food they're eating? No. So it's smorgasbord time at my expense. And do any of them offer to wash the dishes or vacuum up the crumbs on the rug after this feeding frenzy? No, that honor is bestowed on me to take care of. Then there's your grimy mechanic friend driving up on his Indy 500 dragster, breaking every window and eardrum in sight in a 5-mile radius. Why do you always invite him and his toothless girlfriend who's got as much grease underneath her fingernails as he does, and then you pull me into a conversation which requires me to lower my IQ level to like that of a lizard?
You've always hung around those bad apples. I've tried to help you. I've tried to pull you into the 20th century, but you enjoy living the life of a caveman. And why do you enjoy it? Because you know it drives me crazy. The night you stay out until 3 in the morning doing who knows what. You wake up the next afternoon at 2 o'clock. What a life you lead. And then when 9:30 rolls around and maybe I'd like to have a nice dinner or go out to a movie or have one enjoyable evening in my horrible existence, your party animal friends pull up begging for you to go out. And you can't say no because they're your friends from high school. Only high school's been over for 20 years. When are you gonna grow up? Of course, you don't see me hanging around the same high school friends. They're still chomping on Pop-Tarts and zoning out in front of a television somewhere. And most of them probably married those bozo jocks who are lifting 12-ounce cans instead of weights. I've grown much more mature and dignified with age. This weekend, you're taking me out. No more going out with your beer belly friends. I'm putting my foot down. You're taking me out to that brand new health food restaurant where they do fantastic things with soybean root. Then we're going to La Snob Art Galleries where we'll see the pantyhose stretching exhibition. Don't show me that scrunched up face. If you gave me an ounce of attention, this wouldn't be happening. So why don't you make yourself useful and go and get the car? I'll be finished by the time you come back. Go on! You see, I told you, a huge line. I said we gotta get there before 8:30. If we don't get there before 8:30, there's gonna be a huge line. But no, you had to watch the last 10 minutes of your monster truck pull tape. A tape you've seen so many times that the neighbors must think we have a big block Chevy in the living room as a conversation piece. Of course, it's a little better than those bimbos in bikinis shooting assault rifles tape. Every night I gotta watch Bambi and Tina shoot 223 rifle cartridges into an old wreck while giggling and wriggling to heavy metal music. Well, you know, the thinking behind these videos must be mind-boggling. And look at the line at the concession stand. I'm so hungry, and of course we couldn't get a hamburger on the way. Oh no, now I have to wait in a big long line for overpriced popcorn. And if that lummox behind the counter pours nuclear butter all over it, I'm throwing the whole thing on the floor. I don't care, it's their job to clean up after me anyways. You don't care what goes into your gut, as long as it's got grease and sugar on it. You don't care that my thighs could turn into cottage cheese eating all this slop. Oh no, as long as you get your junk food high, well, that's all you care about. Hey, let's move it. What? Maybe you want to wait in a big long line, but my back is in sheer pain. I've been standing up all day at work, and look at my legs. Varicose veins. I got a blue line going right down there. I'm turning old before my time. Well, thank you for letting me make a fool of myself. And I'm sure you enjoyed it too, you sadist. Hey, look, there's a poster for that new French movie everyone's talking about. Of course, we won't be able to see it because it requires reading subtitles, doesn't it, honey? You know, your attention span won't go further than 5 minutes without your car chases and your mass murderings and anything to spur your animalistic desires for violence. Where did you get that shirt? Out of
the bottom of a clothes hamper? And those jeans, you think you could get them just a little tighter? You know, you're not 16 anymore. Who you trying to impress? The teeny boppers in there in the video games? Oh, I'm sure they'll be really impressed with your 48-inch waist, you pathetic slob. Now, when we get into the movie, you sit on the outside seat. I don't need you climbing over me for your nachos and your soda and running to the little boys' room. You know, that drives me insane. And when the movie starts, your mouth goes shut. I've never seen anyone flap their gums as much as you do. And remember, the screen is not your television and it's not your living room, so clam up! Oh, now the line starts to move. Well, it's about time. Now, if you start making those grunting sounds, I'll scream. And oh, that noisy stomach. Put a sock in it.